For today's yoga practice, we'll be working on the Visuddha, the throat chakra. This means faith, self-knowledge, personal authority, the capacity to make decisions knowing that no matter what decision we make, we can keep our word to ourselves or another person. So the meaning of the throat chakra: purification. Its element is sound. Its strengths are that capacity to make our own decisions and listen to ourselves. The colour blue, harmony, vibrations, sound, connection to universal wisdom, walking one's talk, speaking one's truth, and self-expression. So during today's practice, when possible, when it feels right, then visualize the colour blue. We're going to be working deeply with the throat chakra. So imagine the colour blue. Imagine a blue light coming into your throat chakra. Imagine the vibration and sound and light within the throat. Hi, I'm Becky, and welcome to Becky's Yoga DVD. And this is a form of fusion yoga, so a mixture of all different types of yoga, all blended together. And for today's first DVD, we're working on the Visuddha, the throat chakra. Hope you enjoy. So for today's practice, we're just going to bring ourselves into the room first, everybody at home and Kirsty. So we're going to do this by closing the eyes. If the eyes feel like they want to open and they want to investigate the room, then just try and imagine a blindfold or a button on the eyelids, keeping them nice and closed. And we're just going to start with some pranayama, some breathing to bring ourselves into the practice, into the room, to leave the ego behind the door, and let ourselves relax and be at one with today's yoga, to enhance the effects and let all the benefits flow. So we're going to do part breathing, normal diaphragmatic breathing with a comeback pause. So we're going to inhale, pause, and exhale, pause. Inhale, pause, exhale, pause. Focusing on the breath. Trying to focus now on nothing but the breath. On the exhalation, you can exhale away any busy thoughts. The exhale is the apana, grounding and downwards force. The inhale is the prana, the opening and blossoming. Imagine a balloon. On the inhale, the balloon expands and blows up. On the exhale, all the air is released. Inhale the prana, the balloon expands. Exhale the prana, air is released. Continue with the breath. Focus on the breath. Inhale is puraka, to fill the body with pure energy and air. Exhale raka, to empty of any impure air and any negativity. Focusing the mind on the breath, Now place the hands on the rib cage. And feel the expansion and release, helping enhance the effects of focusing on the breath. We open the session with this pranayama for many reasons. 1, to bring us into the practice. 2, to dispose of any hectic mind chatter, to help us focus. Also benefits, it can help with longevity, help fight fatigue, help with anxiety. So just 3 more rounds of inhaling, come back, pause, and exhale. When you finish the 3rd breath, place the hands on the thighs. And then think of the number 10. And you're going to start to count down from 10 to 0. 0 being the point when you can open the eyes. If at any point you don't feel ready, then stop at a number like 2 or 3 and stay there for a little bit longer. We're using this 10 to 0 to bring the awareness into the room ready for the practice. So now for today's practice, I'll just explain a little bit of what we're going to do. We're going to be working on the Visuddha, the throat chakra. So we're going to be opening that chakra, aligning it, and this chakra is used with intuition, self-knowledge, listening to oneself. So if there's something caught there that you'd want to say, but you're holding it in, and you want to tell people something or let something out, sometimes we can get this blockage and it can affect other parts of our body if we're not speaking the way we should speak, gaining respect that we need to gain, and just listening to ourselves and our intuition, trusting ourselves. So a lot of working on trusting ourselves today. So we're going to start with a wholeness mudra. So we interlace the fingers and the thumbs are placed up to creating this little circle. Lovely. We place it by the navel. And we're going to do a chant to enhance the Visuddha, the throat chakra. And this chant is Ham, with the emphasis on the A. Okay, and this is going to just work on starting to open the chakra. While we do this, we're going to just slightly try and visualize the colour blue, which we're going to do further in today's practice as well, because the colour blue is the throat chakra. So I'll demonstrate once and then we'll do it together. So don't be worried about what anybody else thinks or how you might feel. Even if you need to laugh, laughter is good, and happy hormones with laughter. So we'll just do 3 rounds, so it's always an uneven number. So we're going to take 3. So inhale. Beautiful. So now we're going to work through some mobilization. So just mobilizing the joints through some asanas that work with opening the throat chakra. So the way I'm going to do this today for Kirsty and for you at home watching is I'm going to demonstrate and then I'm going to assist Kirsty. So what I'd like you to do is watch the demonstration to try and take in what I'm doing, but not to worry too much if you have not taken it in, because you can then watch when I'm helping Kirsty with the demonstration and follow that lead. So I'll start with the demonstration. I'm going to show each separate and then we're going to flow it. So the first one that we're going to be doing is cat-cow. So we have the hands on the mat, grounding into the mat, and the fingers apart like claws. The navel down, the head down, neutral spine. We're going to inhale as we drop the navel, take our drishti, our gaze forward and open. We're going to exhale as we then curl like an angry cat, hairs on the back, taking tailbone. Inhaling, opening the prana. Exhaling, closing. So we're going to be doing 3 rounds of this. So if you want to come onto all fours, Kirsty, and everyone at home. So palms into the ground, fingers like claws, beautiful. Nice neutral spine to start with. So you're going to inhale as you drop the navel and the head gazes forward. Let the breath flow as you begin to exhale. Spine will start to curve, the head will start to drop. Angry cat, imagine hairs on her back. Silly way of thinking, but it always reminds me. And continuing, so as you inhale, you open drishti forward. Drishti is the gaze. Exhaling with the flow, so as soon as the inhale stops, the exhale begins. This curvature and curl starts to happen. And the last round. Inhale into that opening effect. Exhaling as the chin comes into the collarbones. The head drops and the curvature happens. And back to the neutral spine. So from the neutral spine, Kirsty, if you'll just then sit back on the heels to watch the next one. So you may need to turn to the side slightly. Lovely. So from there, we've just done our cat-cow. So from our neutral spine now, we're going to do Adho Mukha Savasana, downwards facing dog. Hands are the same. We're going to curl the toes. So I'm going to show from the back as well. Curling the toes, so from here, curl. We're then going to take our drishti, our gaze down to the navel or through the legs. Slightly back, pushing into those heels for our Adho Mukha Savasana. So I'm going to show options with Kirsty. The knees can be bent. So we're going to hold this for 5 breaths. And then we're going to come back down to the knees. Uncurl the toes. Rest in our child's pose, Balasana. And then we're going to repeat. Exhaling into the downward dog. I'll also tell you about some of the lovely benefits as you do that. Okay, so we're going to go onto all fours. So just breathe naturally and freely to start with. So our exhalation is when we fold and close into the Adho Mukha Savasana. So on the next exhalation, we're going to curl the toes and start to raise that tailbone, imagining there's a piece of string on the top of the glutes. Lovely. So, Kirsty's feet are off slightly, so if you feel that your heels don't touch the floor, you can take a small bend in the knees, or you can do some limbering and bicycle the feet one at a time. One, and then the other. Breathing normal and freely in your Adho Mukha Savasana. The drishti, the gaze, will be at the navel or through the legs, so let that drishti help drop. And then after the 5 breaths, the knees will come to the ground and we'll uncurl the toes and close off into that child's pose, Balasana. So we're going to repeat that again onto all fours. Breathing normal and freely. And then when you feel ready, it's on the exhalation, you'll curl the toes start to raise. So some benefits of Adho Mukha Savasana: can help with sciatica, flat feet, osteoporosis, lower back pain. It strengthens the glutes, the calves. Can also help stimulate hair growth, as it's a type of inversion. Just going to go back to the knees and back into that child's pose. And then for our last round, to the knees. Exhaling as you close into the Adho Mukha Savasana. Dropping the head. Taking 5 breaths. So relax into the pose. Let the head drop through the shoulders. Grounding in the fingers. Also an energizing asana, as it's a type of inversion. So beautiful to do in the morning. Even if you just pick up this DVD and do the mobilizing section, it'll set you up for the day ahead. Resting back. And then you're going to sit back into that hero pose on the heels to watch the next demonstration. So the hero pose is our reset when we start to flow as well. So the next one is camel. So opening the Visuddha, the throat chakra, as we're taking the head back. So I'll just demonstrate. I'll do it from the front and then the back, and then you'll obviously be able to see Kirsty doing it. So the knees are slightly apart, hips forward, hands on the back of the thighs. We inhale. Think opening. Exhale, close. So it's very important, like imagine these hips are traffic lights and they're pushing forward, or that somebody's like pushing against your glutes. You don't want to be like this. We really want to be opening. So we can leave the hands on the thighs and then we come back up. Inhale. Exhaling. Inhale. So 3 rounds. I'm just going to show from the back as well. The feet can also be like this. This is an option for those of you at home. I do prefer them closed. So I'm inhaling, opening nice and tall. Nice spine alignment. And exhaling as I drop back, opening that Visuddha throat chakra. Inhaling, curling the shoulders up. Exhaling. I'm going to do 3. On number 3, if you feel it's possible, you can see if you can touch the heels for our full camel pose. Hips forward. So as well as being a posture that opens the throat chakra, we're opening into that heart chakra as well. So we're releasing any blockage and any emotions that we can be holding in. So onto the knees. So nice straight spine, think opening, inhaling. As you exhale, take it back. Hips. Opening the heart and opening the throat. Inhaling up, flowing with the breath. Inhaling, open, exhale, close. Seeing each time if the hands will go slightly further down the thighs. Inhale. Exhale back. So this is number 3. So Kirsty's going to see where would be comfortable for her, and that's lovely. She's holding the heels. Never push yourself too much, and remember, yoga is a journey. So just coming back into your hero, Kirsty. And it's not about getting our nose to our knee or our fingers to our toes. It's about all these disciplines and the mindfulness that we learn on the way there. So being aware of that as we go along. So now we're going to flow the 3, okay? So I'm just going to demonstrate. And then you're going to do about 3 rounds of flowing the 3 to really warm up the body, okay? So we'll start with our cat-cow. The cat is very small in this. All 4s. Okay, so going on to all floors, fours, and flowing breath. Cat into our Adho Mukha Savasana, downwards facing dog. I'm going to talk through it as you're doing it at home with Kirsty. She's dropping back to the knees, back to a hero, the reset. Inhaling up, exhaling for the camel. Inhaling up, exhaling, closing into that hero. Arms in front. Into that cat pose, dropping the navel. Little mini cat there. Into downward dog. Just continuing to flow to the knees. Back to that hero. Mini hero. Camel. And inhaling up. Back to that mini hero reset. There we go, onto all fours. Dropping the navel, lovely. Cat pose, curling the toes, Adho Mukha Savasana. Kirsty's last round, back to her knees. It's really good at remembering this. Back to a hero and then child. Fantastic. So hopefully now all our joints will be mobilised and warm, ready for 3 asanas that we're going to learn that work deep into the throat chakra. Okay, so the first one that we're going to do is fish pose. So I'm just going to demonstrate. So we're going to be lying down on our mat. We're going to be pushing deep into our forearms, finding the grounding sensation. This is Matsuasana, fish pose. So we find the grounding and the sensation in the forearms. We inhale as we open the chest. And we exhale into the crown. And we hold for 8 breaths. And release. Rest here in our counter pose, 4 breaths, and then we're going to repeat with an adaptation. Inhale, raise. Exhale, crown of the head. And we'll see now if we can raise the feet. Now if that's not possible, you just do another round with them down. And then rest. The third one, we're going to incorporate the hands. We're going to do either palms together or a Kuspandra Mudra, which I'll show you in more detail in a minute. So Kuspandra Mudra, the mudra to draw in positive energy and take out negative, so it lets all the positive flow in. So it's a good option for as well as palms together. How we do this is hands together, close the outer fingers and cross the thumbs. And this is our Kuspandra Mudra. So you can either use this or palms together for our final Matsusana, fish pose. Each we're going to hold for 8 breaths, so at home and Kirsty. Obviously if it gets too much, too challenging, too strong on the thighs, then just bring them down. That's why we're doing the first one first, and then we're going to try with little adaptations. So lying on the back. Beautiful. So the palms are down, this grounding sensation in the arms. Feet together. So on Kirsty's next exhale, she's going to think of the opening of the heart and the throat. She's going to inhale, she's going to ground here. The shoulder blades are going to push together as she does this. Inhale, exhale onto the crown of the head. Look at this beautiful arch. So everyone will be different. So 8 breaths. Opening the heart, opening the throat chakra. It's a form of back bend. Curling. So imagining as she uncurls, so you're just going to rest 4 breaths. It's like a zip, like a tight zip that's a little bit stuck, that's here. So it comes from neck, very slowly melting everything onto the mat. So never come down too quick, it's vertebrae by vertebrae. So she's going to do the second round now with the raise of the feet. Okay, so it is quite challenging. So at home, you may want to stay just with the first option for each 3. Just like I said before, a journey. Okay, so breathing deep. Lovely. On the inhale, she's going to open prana, exhale to the crown of that head. She's going to see if she'd like to raise the feet. 8 breaths. Very strong breaths. So yeah, there is some shaking. This is fine. Just remember not to work yourself too hard. So I think we'll turn you to the side just for the last one so everyone at home can see. Yeah? So I'm just going to move you to the side slightly. Just because you're so looking so lovely in this DVD. There we go. Now I'll come to the side. There we go, so lying down. Inhale in the opening. Feet stay down at first until you feel ready. And then you take the arms to the side. Remember, this is the furthest option. And up. Nice straight elbows. Lead the feet down first. Do the arms first, out to the side. Nice straight elbows, opening, opening, opening. Kaspandra mudra, all crossed, fingers together, crossing the thumbs, drawing in all the positive energy, raising the back arch. And now she can start to take her feet if she wishes. Tie it up to cover. So yeah, very challenging. So 8 breaths, everyone at home. So I just wanted you to be able to see the arch and back bend and how this is opening everything. It's also known as one of the destroyers of all diseases. So in the ancient texts, Hatha Yoga used to combat common colds, and actually Kirsty did say she had a bit of a cough today, so hopefully it can help with that. Okay? So I'm just going to move your mat back now. That was lovely. There may be some other ones when we turn it to the side to show the audience at home. Okay, so now the next asana is a shoulder stand, Savangasana. And this is the queen of all asanas. Yeah? I'm working deep into the throat chakra. You'll see why, because the chin is tucked into the chest and it's enhancing that pranayama, yeah, and enhancing the throat. So I'll just demonstrate. I'll show it from the front and the back, and then you can take a go. So again, we're going to be lying down. Forearms into the ground, the same as we did with the fish pose. We're then going to raise the feet. And now we want to raise the glutes. So we use our forearms as a support for this. We don't turn the head at all. We keep it tucked into the chin. Raise. We bring the hands onto the back. We work the elbows in. And we hold it here. We hold this for 8 breaths. We then come down. And we're going to have a rest in Balasana, knees to chest pose, counter pose for 4 breaths. So like with the fish pose, I have some adaptations that we're going to try today. So I'll show it this way now. It's the second adaptation that you're going to do. Is twisted roots. So we're going to take the legs apart slightly and cross one over the other at the knees, like a pair of scissors, imagine cutting. And then, so everyone at home, this might be where you get up to. Final stage will be crossing and energizing. To our knees into the chest. Back up and repeat with the opposite leg. Okay? Lovely. So lying down. So just the first Savangasana at first. So grounding, raising. Beautiful. Elbows close together, using those hands as a support. Lovely. 8 breaths. So chin into the chest, working the Visara, throat chakra. Breathing deeply. Let's energize Kirsty a little bit. Thinking to the sky. Beautiful. So she wants to be energizing as much as possible. Another posture that can help with common colds. So these asanas working in the throat chakra as well. Can help with illness or preventing. Also working deep into the abdominals, strengthening and stretching. So this time she's going to do the twisted root. She's going to take the legs apart like a pair of scissors. Cross the left behind the right. And then start to bend this one. And she sees if she can tuck it. So not quite. Let's take them apart. Sorry, Kirsty. And then cross. Keep your raise is down a little bit more. And then bend both. Perfect. Now she pushes up. Energize. Lovely. You feel that? Yeah. Nice. So working the glutes, the biceps here, triceps. Engaging the core. And whenever she's ready, she can rest down. Into the lion pose, and then balasana, knees into the chest. Before we repeat with the other side. So she's going to go back up. Hand yourselves at home. Cross the opposite way. Now that was a little bit naughty, straight into it then. I'm just going to make her do it again. So split the legs. Want to do the cross first. And then start to bend into our roots. And then these twisted roots are going to energize. Imagine in the soil, rooting through. Push. Lovely. So also the twists are a form of detoxification. And then she's going to relax down. Knees into the chest. And then she's going to rock over to one side with the knees into the chest to use the hands to bring herself up to seated. It's the same for you guys at home. We don't want anybody to get up too quick. So now for our last asana before we flow them. And when we flow them, you can choose one of the variations or you can stay with the first one. Okay? So now it's plow pose, halasana. And this one's got loads of lovely benefits I'll tell you about as we do it, okay? So it's from the shoulder stand. I'll show front to back. Again, back to front, both ways. So I'll go into the shoulder stand quite quickly because we've already had the demonstration of that. From there, we want to be taking our legs over. Yeah? So we'll work with some bicycle effects and limbering to see if the toes are able to touch the floor. This is no problem if not. If not, we just bring the knees down like this, and then we see if they'll come into a tranquil pose, resting on the head. Okay? If they do come to the floor, then we'll be here. We can then leave the hands here, or we can bind them here. Or we can take them over to the feet. So this is option 1. Now, and then I'll show option 2 from the other way. So option 2, we're going to work more into the internal organs, twisting and detoxing. So taking away any naughty food we feed. So again, it's optional for the legs to be over the head. So if you found this was where the knees came comfortably, then you just move to one temple and rest here, feeling this detoxification. And obviously the throat chakra. 4 breaths, and then the other side. If you found that the feet came comfortably to the ground, then you're going to take them to one side. For 4 breaths, center, and our other side for 4 breaths. Center. So that's option 2. Do you want one more option? Yeah. We'll have the snail pose. For our final option, if the knees were here, put them both by the temples and rest. If you managed comfortably and safely to get the feet to the ground, then you put the knees by the ears and we close off. So the knees are closing the ears off from all that noise from the external world. And we place our hands over into our snail. Always coming down comfortably, remembering that tight zip again. And then we'll just rest with palms open to the universe, knees into the chest, and then over to one side to seated. Okay, so now Kirsty's ready and yourselves at home to do our halasana, our plough pose. So lying on the back and just reconnecting and remembering the samangasana, the shoulder stand that we did previous, because that is how we start our halasana. So grounding in the hands and the forearms and pushing up into samangasana. So for our first round, we limbered with the feet to see if there's a possible together, over with one and then the other. So this limbering to just see one goes up as the other goes down. Limbering with this scissor effect to see if the toes are able to touch the floor. Kirsty's are very able, but remembering if they don't touch the floor, the other option where we just placed the knees onto the head. So Kirsty's actually just going to do that anyway. So we're going to stay there. Or, as I noticed Kirsty is able, we're going to take them all the way over the head and place them on the ground. Remembering we had the option to leave the hands here or to take a bind if you wanted to interlace the fingers. Beautiful. So lots of benefits in this pose, and very similar to the benefits of our samangasana, our shoulder stand. Reducing common colds, helps fight and release any constipation, balances hormones, and the ancient texts of Hatha Yoga, they said to do this posture to make the complexion more bright and vibrant. So ladies, I don't want you going paying for all these facials that you don't need. You can just do a nice plough pose every morning and be vibrant and ready for the day ahead. Also working deep into the throat chakra, which we're working on within today's practice, as the chin is into the chest. She's going to come down and release. So now, as well as all those nice, exciting, juicy benefits of the plough pose, we're going to do the added twist. So really working into those internal organs, massaging them and detoxifying. So she's going to come back up into the shoulders now. So Kirsty will just do the option, the lower option. Knees into the chest and then over to the right temple. Or for the other option, the legs are straight. And keeping the chin and the back and the chest in line, so that's not going to move, but the feet are, and that's where the twist comes in. So seeing how far she can go with that. Is that okay, Kirsty? Lovely. So then 4 breaths at home on the temple if this is too much. Back to the centre line. And then exhaling over to the other side. For 4 breaths. So Kirsty's not needed to do the rest in between here. She's very able, but at home you can rest in between, and don't worry because you can pause the DVD, or I do a lot of talking anyway, so she's going to rest before her next one anyway. So back down, resting in a savasana. And then we're going to do the snail pose. So she's going to come back. This time closing off from the external world, all those busy thoughts and mind chatter. I love to do this because it's like a plug effect in the ears. You're actually closing off and you can't hear anything. If she wants to take her feet down, she can. She's also got the option to hold the ankles, so arms above the head. Lovely, Kirsty. Grass snail pose. 8 breaths here. Opening up the viscera, throat chakra. Can help reduce common colds, fight constipation, balancing hormones, improving circulation, strengthening the abdominal, help reduce wrinkles, brighter complexion. Improve flexibility. So then knees into the chest at home for Kirsty, and rolling over to the side to come up to seated. Lovely. So now for the final bit of the practice, before we start to bring it down to some closing pranayama and a guided fantasy, is flowing all those asanas. So that's a little bit why today I showed mobility and mobility flowing, because we get a grasp of the flow. So I'm just going to demonstrate. Lying on the back. Inhale, raising the legs. Still inhaling on the raise. Exhale to our plow pose. So just 4 breaths for our flow. Into our Savangasana, the queen or mother of all asanas, 4 breaths. So this is when the flow into Matsana, the fish pose. The palms come down, one curl in the spine. As we make connection with the lower back, that's when the head starts to raise. Inhale. This time we keep the feet automatically off the ground. Relax, 4 breaths, and then we do another round. Four breaths. 4 breaths. 4 breaths. And then knees into the chest. Over to the side. And up into our hero pose. Savangasana straight into the flower petals. 4 breaths, and then she goes into Savangasana, shoulders down. Legs up, 4 breaths. She places her arms down, grounding in the forearms, uncurling the spine. As she feels this connection here, she starts to raise on the inhale on the head, all in one motion, and the legs stay up. Good. 4 breaths. She'll then relax down for 4 breaths in the counter pose and repeat. So she'll now start to raise the legs on the inhale. Continue to inhale as they raise high. Exhale into the asana. Legs over the head. Plank pose. 4 breaths. Next inhale, she'll start to raise the legs. 4 breaths. She starts to ground down on the next exhale. As she feels the connection, she inhales up and exhales onto the forehead. 4 breaths. And relaxing down, knees into the chest. And over to the side, and up to seated. Lovely. So now we're going to start to close the practice. So if you want to get a jumper or anything, that's fine. You want to be nice and warm, okay? So we want to sit comfortably, because we're going to be here for a few minutes doing our closing pranayama. So I'll just demonstrate some comfortable ways to sit as for the beginning of the practice, the end of the practice. We want to be sat, aligning the spine, nice and upright. So options here, we could be in a relaxed dandasana with the heels down, cross leg, hatha pose. So for hatha pose, we take hold of the foot and we turn it out, and I see this like a book, like you want to read all these pages of this book, so totally open to the universe. Heel into the perineum, and the same with the other one. And watch how the spine elongates. Or a pigeon, where we place it in there if that's comfortable. So if you just want to find the most comfortable seating position for yourself. And also we can pop a block or a cushion under the knee. So we're going to work 5 rounds of the Om. So vocally toning the throat and balancing the throat, the body and the mind. So working into our Visuddha throat chakra. Okay? So I'm just going to demonstrate. We'll also take a mudra. We'll take Jaran mudra, which is the mudra of knowledge. Finger next to the thumb, creating a circle. And place it. So I've chose this mudra because knowledge and knowledge in believing in ourselves, saying what we think, self-knowledge, self-awareness, and believing in yourself and listening to what you need to say. So I'm just going to demonstrate. Now we'll just do 3 together. If at home you want to continue to do 5, or any uneven number, odd number, sacred number. So 3, 5, 7, 11, 21, you choose. Go with the moment. breathe. And then we're going to bring ourselves down to Savasana, corpse pose, for a lovely guided fantasy. So we're going to start to bring the whole body into relaxation in our Savasana. Start to feel the heels melting into the ground, following by each and every muscle in the body, relaxing deeply into the mat. Now take your focus to the throat and imagine a blue dot as small as a button in the center of the throat. Now imagine that blue dot starting to spin. As it spins, it grows. Each time it turns, this button gets larger and larger and larger. The colour blue is expanding, now as big as the head, still spinning and growing, and the colour blue is taking over. Now all we see is blue, blue sky, colour of blue surrounding us, the beautiful blue sky. And we listen to our breath as we gaze at the sky. We inhale and exhale. As we inhale, we feel the belly expand. We exhale and we feel the release. Inhaling and exhaling, and focusing on the breath. And all we can see is the beautiful bright blue sky. We feel the body rippling as we focus on this breath. Inhaling, raising, exhaling, lowering. This movement becomes softer, and then we realize this movement is the movement of the waves, and our body is looking up at beautiful blue sky and relaxing in the beautiful blue sea. The body is surrounded by the colour of blue. Feel the waves move the body. Inhale, a wave is rising, the body is rising. Exhale, the wave dips, the body sinks. Visualize the colour blue. Feel the breath move with the waves. Relax with the waves, looking at the colour blue. Inhaling and exhaling, listening to the ocean, and the breath sounds like the ocean. Listening to the breath, moving with the waves, and looking at the colour blue, surrounded by the colour blue. Inhaling and exhaling. Now the waves start to decrease, and the body floats smoothly and softly to the dry land, onto the sand, and away from the sea. And then the blue sky starts to close in, bit by bit. The visualization of the sky is melting. The body is not on the sea anymore, but on the yoga mat. And we slowly see pieces of the studio roof replacing the beautiful blue sky. Still inhaling and exhaling, feeling relaxed and thankful for all the benefits and well-being from today's practice. So we're just going to start to bring some awareness back into the body. We're going to start that awareness at the big toe, through the rest of the toes, the calf, thighs, buttocks, spine, shoulders, neck, crown of the head, face, nose, chin, chest, navel, thighs, knees, feet. Now in the fingers, forearms and shoulders. Now you feel this awareness, you're going to start to raise one knee into the chest if that feels right, followed by the other. Give those knees a cuddle, massage the spine and rock slightly from side to side. When the time feels right, you'll rock to one side in the cradle baby. We'll rest here. And you'll use the hands as your stable base to slowly bring yourself up to seated. Nice elongated spine. So now we're going to close the practice, which I hope you've all thoroughly enjoyed. So I have a closing thought. The closing thought is that we should listen to our self-knowledge, our own creativity. We don't get a thought for no reason, so let's listen to ourselves. Listen to our body and our mind. Creatively feed our soul. Also, some ways to enhance our throat chakra. We can do something creative this week, like painting, drawing, dancing to music. We can wear a blue scarf to actively enhance our throat chakra. We can say something that we've been meaning to say, that we've been keeping in. That's just some of the things we can do. So now let's take the palms together at the center line of the body. And you can repeat after me or just say in your own head, Namaste. Namaste. Let the spirit in me meet the spirit in you. Thank you, everybody.